Are you ready to do this thing? It certainly is New Orleans. Are you listening, Governor? It's New Orleans, Louisiana. The number one city in the state, the only real city in the state of Louisiana. Not only nationally known, but internationally known. I like Lake Charles and Ellick and Fun Row and Shreveport. No one knows of those places around the world. No one. Lafayette, Cajun country, you bet. Known around the world. New Orleans, known around the world. It's kind of crazy, the governor and this political nonsense. I mentioned it yesterday. It is 110% a political game. The governor knows the score, knows what I'm saying is true, and believes what I'm saying is true. Yet gains points with his political base because the vast majority of them, like supporters of Governor Jeff Landry, I would say 95% of the votes he received in Louisiana were outside of Orleans Parish, 95%. And a lot of those folks are rural Louisiana folks that have a problem that some New Orleans folks have. Some New Orleans folks don't like Louisiana. Some Louisiana folks don't like New Orleans. That's y'all's problem. Go enjoy yourself. I'm a native New Orleanian, which means I'm a native Louisianian. I'm a Louisiana boy. I love the state and I love New Orleans. I love them both. I remember going to Baton Rouge and was so blown away at 18, just how many Baton Rouge folks did not like New Orleans, how many folks from around the state, just this anti-New Orleans vibe, and so many New Orleans people that were like anti-Baton Rouge. Just like, I like them both. I want them both to do well. So strange. But that's reality, and it's been that way for a long, long time, and the governor knows this, so he's throwing some logs on the fire, stoking the fire. His base loves it. They're salivating. A lot of rural folks that don't like New Orleans. It's a cesspool. And like I said yesterday, in 3 days from now, 5 days, a week, 2 weeks tops, 2 weeks tops, I think sooner, within like a week, next week, the governor and Helena Moreno will be at some event together. And they'll be holding hands, they'll be singing Kumbaya, and they'll be talking the same talk that, of course, we talk, and we're getting things done. And the governor will be saying how important New Orleans is. Not all this New Orleans has to stop thinking they're so special. Well, the World's Monument Fund, this is the World's Monument Fund, announced a new list recognizing 10 historic places across America. 10 historic places across America whose preservation is essential to the richness and complexity of American history. There's this old, I think it's a polio hospital in New York. All that's left is like the, outside the shell of the building, no roof, no interior. The exterior walls being held up. They want that like redone. Bartram Gardens in Philly. Black Mountain College, a building on that campus in North Carolina. The African Meeting House in Boston. Colonial Homes in Newport, Rhode Island. The Dallas City Hall. The Mission Churches in New Mexico. The Watts Tower or Towers in Los Angeles. The Wright Brothers site in Ohio. That's 9 of the 10 of these sites. You want to know what number 10 is on the World's Monument Fund? 10 historic places across America whose preservation is essential to the richness and complexity of American history. The city of New Orleans was one of the 10. Not a building, not the French Quarter, not the Presbyterian, not the Cabildo, not St. Louis Cathedral, not the Upper or Lower Pontalba, not Lafitte's blacksmith shop, not the Ursuline convent, the city, the whole city of New Orleans, the city of New Orleans. No, Governor Jeff Landry needs to get on board. Needs to get on board. Seriously. It's kind of embarrassing, to be honest with you. And it's political nonsense. It's a game. And like I said, within the next few days, I'll be proven true when he's singing Kumbaya with the mayor. The World's Monument Fund says, City of New Orleans, Louisiana, shaped by indigenous, African, European, and Caribbean influences. The historic neighborhoods of New Orleans form one of America's most distinctive cultural landscapes. Rising seas, land loss, and mass population relocation now threaten that heritage. This isn't some local group, regional group, national group. It's a worldwide group. They listed, recognized 10 places in America. They're mostly like building or buildings. A building or buildings. One of the 10 sites is the city of New Orleans, the entire city. Hey, speaking of this city, Randy Hayman, Director, New Orleans Sewage and Water Board, will be with us in about 5 minutes. Got a lot to discuss with Randy Hayman, Director, New Orleans Sewage and Water Board. No, a lot going on. Corey Johnson with you on a Wednesday. Every day, this program brought to you by Lamarck Ford, the big store in Kenner. Over 45 years. Lamarck Lincoln, #1 in the state. You own a business, you need a commercial vehicle, van, truck, SUV. That's Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood for over 80 years. Doing you right. Ronnie Lamarck from Araby Park. It is a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. A scorcher out there. 93 degrees feels like 103. Mario, Randy Hayman's going to join us, the director of the New Orleans Sewage and Water Board. See if he wants to start right now or, because the break's still a few minutes away, and I don't want to put this guy on, have him hanging out there. British Open. Argentina was down 1-0. I think Britain scored. England scored like 55 minutes into the game, 1-0. And then in the last 10 minutes, Argentina scores twice and takes it 2-1. Argentina and Spain, 2:00 Sunday in New York. The Meadowlands, actually, New Jersey. Randy Hayman, Director, New Orleans Sewage and Water Board, joins us. Randy, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing well. Thanks for joining us again on the program.
Well, thank you.
How are you? First off, how long have you been at it? I mean, about a year now, huh?
It's just shy of a year. It has, in a very fast year.
Yep. What happened Saturday?
Well, Saturday, we had a tremendous amount of rain in the Carrollton, Holly Grove, Uptown area. We had over 3.5 inches of rain was recorded in an hour. In Mid-City, we had 2 to 3 inches of rain were recorded in an hour. And then intensities between 6.5 and 7.5 inches per hour were recorded across the city. And so there was a lot of rain, a deluge of rain, but we also had some issues that came up with two of our pumping stations.
Yeah, let's talk about that. With an antiquated system, you guys have to be super diligent. Breakdowns have to be held to a minimum. They can't be the norm or expected. With that said, human error can never happen. Agreed?
Well, we have to do the very best that we can at all times. And we have true water professionals working for us. I think in any type of situation, there's a possibility of human error, but we have to hold it down to a minimum.
All right, we'll talk about that in a second. Pump station, 7, for instance? What happened there? That's Mid-City and Lakeview. And what happened with Pritchard Pump Station that drains Hollygrove, only one of 2 pumps operating. Fill us in on why problems with those 2 pump stations.
Yeah, and I'll walk you through. With the pump station 7, there was nothing wrong with the pumps at the station. The water level at this station rose 6 feet in 20 minutes. Okay, so it's important to understand, even though there was human error, there was still a lot of rain in a short period of time, and we would probably still have some flooding in that area. But it does appear that human error did contribute to the situation, and we have 3 pumps at that location. After one was pumping, we tried to bring up the other 2 online. There was an error made, we believe, in the vacuum system, which meant that we didn't have any pumps online for about 45 minutes. That resulted in high water levels that impacted the lower Lakeview area of Mid-City and City Park for about an hour and a half.
Hey, Randy, hang on 1 second. I'm going to take that quick break and come right back with you.
My pleasure.
Fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
Because I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe. Some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
For over 30 years, CertaPro painters have been part of countless memories. Freshly painted nurseries, bright, welcoming kitchens, families enjoying the important things in life. Every wall tells a story, and CertaPro is happy to be a part of it. New Orleans' local professional painters, doing the job right. From the first brushstroke to the finished job. CertaPro Painters. NewOrleans.CertaPro.com.
The Swamp Room in Metairie, home of the Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans. A full menu, including steak specials, over 100 beers by the bottle, over 25 beers on tap. Lots of flat screens, pool tables, darts, and video poker. Lunch, dinner, late night dining. Open past midnight 7 days a week. The Swamp Room in Metairie on Vets between Transcontinental and I-10. Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971. On Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Terminex, serving the South Shore, North Shore, and River parishes since 1947. Rats, roaches, ants, and termites. Getting rid of those guys is our business. Call for a free termite inspection. Terminex, official pest control of the New Orleans Saints.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Uptown, Carrollton, Riverbend, Holly Grove, Kirktown, Gentilly, Lakefront, West Bank, Lakeview. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Randy Hayman's with us, Director, New Orleans Sewage and Water Board. So, Randy, you were talking about pump station 7 and
Yes,
the
that's what I
problems
was
from
mentioning.
Saturday.
Yes, and so there was a vacuum system issue. The pumps went down for about 45 minutes, and it impacted lower Lakeview area in Midtown City Park for about an hour and a half. And so, in the short term, the question is, what are we doing? At this time, we have additional staff at that location to ensure the pumps are operated correctly. We're conducting an internal investigation to see what happened, and we're reviewing and will enhance any training protocols that we have to best address the situation. We don't want any errors, and like I said before, in light of how much rain came down in the deluge that took place, there would probably be some flooding, but the bottom line is we want to be perfect and we want to be exact. And so we're going to look at our policies and procedures and sharpen them so that they are as best as they can be.
And we want them going. We want the pumps going down like right now if they're going to go down. Like when you're testing them on a sunny day, and wow, they're not working right, and then they're fixed. But in the middle of a deluge, even though every New Orleanian, it's almost like common knowledge to a native. The pumps can pump 1 inch for the first hour and a 1/2 inch every hour after that.
Afterwards.
We all kind of know that, every kind of New Orleanian on the street. So, but still, you're losing that hour. You're losing an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches of pumping capacity, which could be the difference of water going into someone's car, house, or business.
Well, yes, with us losing the power and with the amount of rain. But at the end of the day, we're trying to do the best we can with what we have. Sometimes we can look at the human error aspect of it, but we also have to look at the system as a whole. And when we look at the system as a whole, we have to make sure that we have a sustainable funding that allows us to maintain and repair the system that we have. And so that's one of our concerns too, because we are looking at a stormwater fee. The mayor has looked at a parcel fee. We can operate under either one, but it's our concern that we have the monies that we need to actually maintain the system. And that's my concern in the big picture. Now, I will tell you a little bit about the Pritchard pump station in Holly Grove. That one is an automatic pumping station that's not manned. The pumps are at this location are designed to come on automatically. We check the pumps 3 times a week regularly. And when we expect it's going to rain, there are 2 pumps at that station. On Saturday, both pumps came on automatically about 1:15 p.m. After further investigation, we identified that one pump went offline at 1:30. It had to be restarted by hand. And so that resulted in high water levels that impact the Holly Grove neighborhood for about 2 hours. We're increasing monitoring of the station to ensure that the pumps are functioning properly, and we're looking into notifications for automatic pumps. And so again, we're going to look at the procedures, protocols, and try to make sure that we are able to correct any issues. But that one there was with it going off, it not coming on automatically. We're going to double check why that happened.
Randy Hayman's with us. Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead, Randy.
One thing I wanted to share with you, I've been in water in this position, or I was a general counsel, Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District. I was general counsel, DC Water. I was the CEO of Philadelphia Water. And New Orleans is unique because we have the drainage issues, we have the pumps. But the flooding aspect, it does happen in other cities, not to the degree that we have. But across this country, we'll look at an aging infrastructure system. The association was AWWA, which deals with water issues across the country, said it would cost about $2 trillion to fix all of the water issues that exist across the country. And so we're not alone, but I do think the main focus should be on our system as a whole. And our system as a whole, we have an older system. We have pumps that have been around since 1900. And so we need to make sure we have a sustainable funding source so we can maintain and improve those systems.
Hey, Randy, go
alone across the country. Go right ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Going back to the pump station number 7. I know you're doing an investigation, but essentially what went wrong there?
Well, all I can say at this point, it was an issue regarding the vacuum system. There's an investigation going on, and I don't want to say
Okay.
more than what information I have.
What was the human error?
And again, all I can say at this point that it involved the vacuum system, and we're looking at the investigation. It has not been given to me at this point.
No. I get that, but you've identified that there was human error. So just sort of on a macro level, what was the human error? Was someone not at their post? They didn't understand how the machinery works? What?
I would say the person was at their post, but it had to do with how they went about turning on the equipment. And that's really all I can say at this time. You have a situation where these machines, and that's one thing I do want to educate the public on. A lot of times people think you just go in and push a button and the pumps come on. These pumps are huge. You can drive a car inside of them, into them. They're huge. They're electrical contraptions and they're mechanical contraptions. And so there's a certain procedure that they go through. And if something goes wrong in starting up the procedure, which may or may not be part of human error, it might be just the machine did not function correctly. They have to go through other protocols and start it up. And so at this point, I do not have all the information. And so I can't say more than it was an issue of turning on the equipment and having the pumps, the vacuum system operating. So there's an issue with the vacuum system.
I had announced on Twitter, on X, I'm going to have Randy Hayman, director of the Sewage and Water Board, on the show. Someone replied, this human failure cost us dollars. People need to be fired. Could potentially heads be rolling? Could the human error have been so egregious where someone's fired?
It would be unfair for me to say that without me having all of the data and information. We are going to look at it very seriously, and we will make the proper decision at that time once I have all the facts.
And not to repeat the question I opened up with, but with an antiquated system, you guys have to be super diligent. Breakdowns have to be held to a minimum. They can't be the norm or expected, sort of that laissez-faire New Orleans attitude. With that said, human error really never can happen. Agreed?
Well, we want to be perfect. That is the goal. And you become perfect by being diligent in following your policies and procedure. You become excellent by making sure that you have the proper training and all. And so at this point, it's premature for me to say much more than we have to investigate what happened. And the engineers are doing that. It's very serious to us. We want to investigate it and then make sure we don't have that situation again. And it'll give us a chance to see, one, human error, and also was there anything else that was going on at the plant at that time. And again, for me to say more than that would be unfair. But I do want to stress this. The employees we have here are very, I call them water professionals. They are educated in what they do. They are dedicated. They are true professionals. And so they do keep errors down to a minimum. There's a lot that goes on in a given day that you don't see and you take for granted. The water that comes through the tap or the water you're able to cook with and shower with. And so there's a lot that they do right every day. And so out of fairness, all I can say at this point, we're going to finish our investigation and we'll take the proper action once we have all of the information.
Randy Hayman's with us, director, New Orleans Sewage and Water Board. Randy, on Pritchard, where both pumps started, automatic, unmanned station, and then one went down and you had to physically send someone out there. It was, quote, restarted by hand. When there's a major rain event like we knew Saturday, and maybe even some coming up soon again next week, or sooner, Sunday, should a pumping station like Pritchard that doesn't require someone there, it's an automated system, have someone there during a serious rain event?
Yes. And what we usually do, if we know that there's going to be a serious rain event, we make sure that we have someone there. Now, we also have a group that goes from pump to pump to pump. They drive around to the different pumps. But if we know that one is coming, we would have had one there. The amount of rain that we had, and again, we had 6.5 to 7.5 inches of rain. I don't think anybody in the weather departments notified us that it was going to be that heavy of a storm. And so if we know there's going to be heavy rain, yes, we will have someone there.
But I mean, Pritchard's like what, 5 minutes from Sewage and Water Board Claiborne plant?
Well, and granted, and it took people a moment to get there. But the bottom line is we are looking at our procedures, our protocol. We are going to make sure that if we are aware there's going to be a bad rain, that we have people stationed where we need to have them stationed. And again, we're going to look at our policies and how we're actually operating.
Smart. Hey, Randy.
And I'll tell you this.
Go ahead.
I want to be perfect. Okay. We don't want any human error. We want to make sure that we do the very best we can. We take it very personally because remember, the people who work at SWMNO, we live here. And the homes we're protecting are the homes that belong to our mothers, our fathers, our cousins, our families and friends. And so they are extremely dedicated. I mean, we have some employees here at the board today that were recognized for the work they did about 2 weekends ago, where they're working on a broken water main. And I'll tell you this, I saw one employee. Now, I've been in water a leader for 20 years, okay? I saw something I've never seen before. In Philly, I saw people who had ice in their beards while they were working on the street, determined to get the job done. But I saw two employees in a hole that had water coming up. It's a mud hole. And the piece of equipment's at the bottom. They literally put their heads under the water with their heavy wrenches I could barely handle above the ground. They go under the water, submerge their head, tighten the equipment, get it off, have to do it by feel, and then come back up and take a breath and go back down. No hesitation, no complaining, no when do I get to finish. I told them today they are the backbone of this organization. So I'm proud of the 1,400 water professionals we have here that we call staff and employees. They really care about what they're doing. So they don't make human error.
Randy, hang on 1 second. We're coming right back. A few more minutes with the director of the Sewage and Water Board.
The Steak Knife restaurant in Lakeview has been at it for over 50 years. The reason? Because the Roth family does it right, serving only USDA prime beef, a neighborhood restaurant. But you don't have to live in the Lakeview neighborhood to enjoy the Steak Knife. Open Tuesday through Saturday night, the Steak Knife on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park. For a reservation, call 488-8981 or online, steakkniferestaurant.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
CertaPro Painters, New Orleans local painters. From the first brush stroke to the finished job. Your home, beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters, neworleans.certapro.com.
The Swamp Room in Metairie, home of the legendary Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans. Open after midnight, 7 days a week. A full menu, including steak specials. The Swamp Room in Metairie.
At Lamarck Lincoln, ownership isn't complicated. It's effortless. With a one-on-one brand specialist every step of the way, we strive to ensure every guest experience is nothing less than elevated. You'll understand why it's more than ownership. It's membership. Visit Lamarck Lincoln at Williams and I-10 in Kenner. Give us a call at 504-238-4800. That's 504-238-4800. Or visit us online at lamarcklincoln.com.
The Fence Man, a locally owned fencing company serving the metro New Orleans area for over 20 years.
'Cause I'm the fence man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Yeah, I'm the fence man.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Hey, when you're painting in New Orleans, maybe refreshing the den or the kitchen, maybe you need the entire interior of your house painted, or the exterior, or both, home or business. When it comes to painting, neworleans.certapro.com. Professional painters in the Crescent City, all they do is paint. neworleans.certapro.com. Randy Hayman is the director of the New Orleans Sewage and Water Board. He joins us live on the program. Randy, you inherited a team, let's just say they're like 1-15. I don't know. They play 17 games now in the NFL. 2-15, 1-16. How long, if ever, under your tenure, you're the coach for 5, 7, 10 years, how long until the Sewage and Water Board as a whole, just equipment, the efficiency of the equipment working, power plant working, no outages, no pump failure, pumping water, as good as the system can be? How long until it's a winning team, not a Super Bowl team or a playoff team even, but like close to 500? They're 1-15, 1-16. Is that a fair kind of analogy and question?
Yeah, I respect the question. The thing is this: we have exceptional individuals working here. As I said, they are truly dedicated. But we have to be honest. And I'm someone who has landed here. And I came here because I wanted to be here. And I came here because there was a need. Because I had 20 years of working in water at high level. But the thing is, we have deferred maintenance and repair for so long. And we've pushed it down the road for so long that we have a situation where we have pipes that are over 100 years old. Now, to replace all those pipes, I said earlier this year, it would be a 20-year process. It would cost us over $2 billion. And so, there's going to be expenses. We have a water master plan. Now, what is a master plan? Well, usually when you look at what's outside in the street, that's the mains that go down the street. But when you have a water plan, you're looking at what's behind the fence that the public never really sees. That's your treatment plan. Now, in Philadelphia, we had a plan that was about $2.5 billion over 25 years, had 400 projects. We have a similar plan here, and it will add to the economy because people will be working on different projects. And we have equipment there that is over 100 years old. So it is possible to turn a team around in a year, but let's face it, most of the time it takes a couple of years of getting your boots on the ground, doing good scouting, if you were, to have more bat practice, and getting the funding that you need. Okay, and for us, that's really what it is.
So we're talking like 10 or 20 years.
No, I don't think it'll be that long. I'll be honest with you. There was a time I remember going to Congress. I could walk in and we could walk out with money, okay, to do major multi-million-dollar projects. Then that dried up. And we kept beating the drum, and you always go because you want to be known when the money is given out. And then when we had COVID, there was all this money again for infrastructure. So that now it's kind of slowed down. I believe what I told you earlier about the report that says at a national level, there are $2 trillion worth of need in this country. That is going to give our congressmen, our senators something to point at, to say, wait a minute, and also people in our industry to say, we need money and we need it now, and we need a sustainable pot of money that we can rely on.
Now $2 billion, you replace all the pipes, Randy. What about, this 60 hertz to 25 hertz power conversion crap? I mean, when will those mostly inner city pumps that run on 25 hertz be converted or replaced with 60 hertz pumps where the system is, run with the same power, not this antiquated 100-year-old power?
Listen, that was my thought when I first arrived here. And I said, well, why do we have 60 hertz? Why are we even taking the time to convert to 25 hertz? That was reviewed by expert engineers, leaders in their field, who came to the conclusion that financially and where we are technologically, is best for us to go ahead and keep the equipment that we had, make those repairs, and to have a generator or a SFC, static friction changer, that would reduce it.
No, I got you.
And
All right, now with that said,
and we can make those repairs.
No, I got you. That I understand. I'm going to leave it to the engineers. But with that said, how can a $300 million brand new substation not be working properly? How is that possible?
Well, in some ways, it was working properly. Look at your home right now. If there was a great surge of power to your home, you would have your circuit breakers. They would go off. Okay, that protects your flat screen TV. That protects your heater. It protects your washing machine. That is the machine protecting itself. Okay. Now, what we had happen and what we said before the city council was that there was a power lag, and when that actually took place, the machinery turned off to protect itself.
Now, was that Entergy's fault or the new power facility's fault?
Well, the two things that happened in this equation. One, they had a lag, okay? But number two, we have to be in a position at the Sewage and Water Board to do our best to adjust our machinery so it's sensitive enough, strong enough to go beyond what the lag is, okay? And what I mean to say is, originally the equipment was set at 80% and so we were able, and the problem we had was the first one was at 25, and another time it was, I think, at 40.
Lagging below this 80% where you guys aren't expecting 100% power all the time.
That's right.
You could go as low as 80 and it went way below that. How do you fix that where that never, ever happens again?
Well, what we did, we're working with a third party with Entergy, and Entergy has been a good partner as far as meeting with us and coming up and strategizing on how to address this. And the third party is evaluating their system. It's also evaluating our machinery. And we're going to work out a way to make sure that the lag is minimal and make sure that the settings on our machines are set as best they can. Well, I did want to be clear that originally our machines were set at 80%. The manufacturer, we've worked with them. We've been able to lower the trip setting to 28% of normal voltage. And that would have covered the two voltage sag events that took place on May 20th and June 18th.
I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but you can kind of see, the 9 Mile Point power plant on the West Bank. You have power lines that go across the river to the East Bank and go directly to this substation. I mean, as far as like the bird flies, it might be about 2.5, maybe 3 miles of power lines going directly to the Sewage and Water Board facility, a $300 million substation. And pretty much the first time it's tested, it craps out. It's like mind boggling.
Well, listen, I understand. It is frustrating, and it frustrates us. But it is also a new piece of equipment, a very detailed and intricate piece of equipment that we have to make adjustments to. And I think we've made a big adjustment going from the 80% and being able to go down to 28%. And we're looking to Entity to be able to decrease the amount of lag
Yeah,
exist in
exactly.
electricity as best we can.
Why is it
And it's
lagging
us
so
working
much?
Together. It's for us to work together and to get there. Now, keep in mind, if we know it's going to be a very bad storm, it's a hurricane, we're going to turn on the turbines and make our own electricity. So people have to not be confused. It's not that we're always going to use the static frequency changers and we're dependent on this 80% or 20%.
Yep.
That if we know there's going to be a hurricane, we turn on the turbines.
Yeah.
We
You got
we'll
that.
make
Yeah.
our own equipment,
Yeah.
our own electricity, I mean to say.
Hey, well, I want to come to those turbines in a second. Decatur Street, I think it'd be a year in October. Who approved the all at once approach instead of like a block at a time at a time? And why so long to do these repairs? There are individuals whose businesses have gone bankrupt. There are people that have lost millions of dollars, literally, that are trying to work in kind of uninviting New Orleans, that uninviting business climate, trying to work here. And this just makes it impossible.
No, I hear you. I hear you. I'll tell you very quickly. I have a lot of concern for small businesses. My godfather was a pharmacist in St. Louis. I used to work there 10 to 18. That's where I'm from. And I know what it's like to watch someone have to make payroll. And so, I'll make the rent or the mortgage that they have on the building. And so I understand and I feel for their frustration. I do want to say that as far as what type of digging we did we do it block by block, a bigger dig? That was made by the administration at SWBNO before I got here. But I understand why they did it. There was some federal money involved. And to get the money, you had to actually have, they call it shovel in ground, and show progress in the work by a certain date. And so that's what they were trying to do. Now, one thing I do want to be clear. We talk about speeding up, and we're going to do everything we can to try to get it done quickly. But this project was always announced and presented as being a 1-year project. It is a generational project that is going to move out, change the storm lines, the water lines, drainage lines, and we knew that it would take a year. Now, also keep in mind that we had to deal with the high river level regulations that we could not dig at certain times. We had to deal with not one, but 2 archaeological digs that took place there where we were shut down. And even with that happening, we're still going to end up probably within a month and a half, 2 months of what the original deadline was. Now, one thing is this, even though it was always a year-long project, at SWBNO, we're looking at it like this. We want to get it done. And so we looked at if we could increase the amount of hours people worked. We're looking at anything we can do to speed it up. And so we're not fighting on that point. We're trying to find ways to address it and to get out of their way and to be a good neighbor and a good utility to them.
Hey, Randy, do you have a couple of more minutes to talk about turbines and catch basins, or do you have to run?
I do have to run, but we can make arrangements at another time.
Yeah, we'll talk about those turbines and the catch basins. Randy, thank you very much for the time this afternoon.
Well, thank you. Always a pleasure.
That's Randy Hayman, director of the New Orleans Sewage and Water Board. Corey Johnson with you, coming right back.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Terminex, serving the South Shore, North Shore, and River parishes since 1947. Rats, roaches, ants, and termites. Getting rid of those guys is our business. Call for a free termite inspection. Terminex, official pest control of the New Orleans Saints.
CertaPro Painters, New Orleans local painters. From the first brush stroke to the finished job. Your home, beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters, neworleans.certapro.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
The Swamp Room in Metairie, home of the Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans. A full menu, including steak specials, over 100 beers by the bottle, over 25 beers on tap, lots of flat screens, pool tables, darts, and video poker, lunch, dinner, late night dining. Open past midnight 7 days a week. The Swamp Room in Metairie on Vets between Transcontinental and I-10.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The true voice of New Orleans, telling it like it is. Corey Johnson.
Yeah, you right. Wide Open Wednesday. Corey Johnson back at you. The Swamp Room is open right now. The Swamp Room's open every day at 11 a.m. And they stay open straight through till 3 a.m., till 3 in the morning. Friday and Saturday night till 5 a.m. You service industry folks looking for a good meal, super duper late night. You folks that are hunting and fishing on the way to the hunting camp or the fishing hole. The Swamp Room on Friday and Saturday nights open till 5 a.m. Home of the Swamp Burger. Lunch every day, 11 a.m. Check out all your favorite sporting events on the big screens and get a Swamp Burger for lunch. I mean, if you work in that area around Vets and I-10, Kenner, Metairie, the Swamp Room for lunch, 11 a.m., home of the legendary Swamp Burger. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. If you're just joining us, Randy Hayman, director of the New Orleans Sewage and Water Board, was with us for about the last 30 minutes. Worth checking out. You can join us at any time, by the way. Questions, comments, critique, whatever. It's Wide Open Wednesday. You're the show producer, whatever you want to talk about. We will not cut you off. We will not screen the call. Everyone's invited. It's wide open all the time, but especially on Wide Open Wednesday. The way you dial us up, the way you get on the air, on radio, on television, on social media. 766-9480. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X, fielding your phone calls at 766-9480. 766-9480. British Open starts tomorrow. Alvin Kamara restructuring his deal with the Saints. And the World Cup final is set. England goes up 1-0 around minute 55 versus Argentina. Early second half. Tied at the half. Few minutes into the second half. 1-0 England. Then around 85 minutes and about 6-7 minutes later, Argentina scores twice. They win 2-1. The final, 2:00 Sunday from New Jersey. 2:00 Sunday, World Cup final. Argentina and Spain. Argentina and Spain. Let's go to the phone lines. 766-9480. I think it's Danny in Slidell, if I'm not mistaken. Danny?
Yeah, that's right, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Danny?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. I hadn't been too into the World Cup. Saw a little bit of U.S. highlights on Sports Center, so but hadn't watched it too much. I don't know, Corey. It's I got a wide open Wednesday one for you, brother.
All right.
An IG in St. Tammany. How about it?
No, it's something I've talked about for a long time. It's long overdue. They should copy the New Orleans model, believe it or not. I mean, St. Tammany, one of the fastest growing parishes, one of the most affluent, a lot of tax money being spent. I'm a citizen of St. Tammany. I want an inspector general, a CPA type, scrutinizing all public money being spent, making sure at the very least it's being spent efficiently, and at the worst, it's not being stolen. And we know St. Tammany has political problems like Jefferson Parish, like New Orleans. So, no, one of the biggest travesties, I'd say, in Metro New Orleans for me on this program, it could be like litter in New Orleans, or oil and gas industry runs the Department of Environmental Quality. St. Tammany not having an inspector general is crazy. Danny in Slidell, thanks for the phone call. He's right. An inspector general for St. Tammany is so long overdue. From Danny in Slidell to Rob in New Orleans. What up, Rob?
Hey, yeah, Corey, I have a couple of questions. I was listening to you interview that guy, Brian, yesterday, the conservative voice, and I had a couple, that was a very interesting conversation. But one thing, you used to have the Henneken, you had a liberal and a conservative. I don't know if you do that anymore, but.
Oh, yeah. Get them on every other month about.
Oh, you got them?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
But you brought on this guy Brian as a solo conservative voice. Did you bring on a solo liberal voice?
No, I'd love to find a local liberal voice that I could bring on once a week. I'd love it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know. Yeah, come to think of it, I wouldn't know where to look. But yeah, because I know you're very balanced and. But anyway, some of the stuff you guys were talking about was very interesting yesterday. When you asked him who started this, he said, that's a good question. And it's interesting because right now you got the mayor and the governor pitted against each other. And this guy, Brian, brought up the fact that neither of them seem to have started it, that it came from the state legislature, the Republicans in the state legislature. And then on the other side from New Orleans, it was the grand jury. It wasn't the mayor or the
well, the legislature did nothing wrong. I mean, you can not like how they went about it. You can say, I don't like Monroe people making legislation for New Orleans, all of that. Then try to fix that next session, or try not to allow it the last session, whatever. But the legislature passed law, and then New Orleans does this crazy, quirky, grand jury indictment of Liz Murrow, which is nonsense and is pathetic. But here's the disconnect. Jeff Landry decides to engage as governor. I'm the governor. This is ridiculous. New Orleans going after Liz Murrow. I'm going to get involved in this. I'll pardon her, blah, 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 blah. Now he's attacking New Orleans, all this crap. Helena Moreno has nothing to do with the grand jury or the indictment. The opposite. Like, if she got involved, it would be a crime, either saying indict or don't indict. Getting involved is not part of what she's supposed to do legally. So, right. To all of a sudden lump Helena Moreno in this because it's, quote, the city of New Orleans, this city of New Orleans versus the state of Louisiana, Jeff Landry's loving this because his base loves his anti-New Orleans rhetoric. In a few days, Helena Moreno and Jeff Landry will be holding hands and singing songs. I guarantee it. This is all political crap, and Jeff Landry is the one, keeping it going. The olive branch by Helena Moreno's already been handed out. Terrible, Rob.
One other question. I heard Jeff Landry a couple of days say the logic used to be as New Orleans goes, the state goes. And then he said, but now it's as the state goes, New Orleans
No, he's delusional.
Is there any truth to that?
No, he's delusional. New Orleans is still the thing in Louisiana. And I love both. I love New Orleans and I love Louisiana. I'd never pit them against each other. We're connected, but New Orleans is the thing. And Cajun country's great, and so many parts of Louisiana are fantastic. But New Orleans is the breadwinner. You want to hook your wagon to that, and everyone wins. Everyone wins. No, bashing New Orleans is ridiculous by the governor. Ridiculous.
On the neutral ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
'Cause I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
49 years in a row. Ford F-150, #1 truck in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
For over 30 years, CertaPro painters have been part of countless memories. Freshly painted nurseries, bright, welcoming kitchens, families enjoying the important things in life. Every wall tells a story, and CertaPro is happy to be a part of it. New Orleans' local professional painters, doing the job right. From the first brushstroke to the finished job. CertaPro Painters. NewOrleans.CertaPro.com.
The Swamp Room in Metairie, home of the legendary Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans. Open after midnight, 7 days a week. A full menu, including steak specials. The Swamp Room in Metairie.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Terminix, the official pest control company of the New Orleans Saints. Locally owned for over 70 years with humble beginnings on Poydras Street, will fix your pest and termite problems. Terminix has effective solutions that will help eliminate pest problems throughout the year. Their custom treatments address seasonal pest activity to protect your home and business all year long. Terminix provides residential and commercial pest and termite control services for the South Shore, North Shore, and river parishes of Louisiana. Terminix protects that. Go Saints!
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on this wide open Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining us. 5 o'clock Power Hour is upon us. The 5 o'clock Power Hour this afternoon brought to you by Terminix. Terminix New Orleans. They've only been at it for nearly 80 years. Taking care of pests running around my house. They're about to mosquito-proof my backyard. They've already installed the Centricon system. I don't worry about termites. I'm about to not worry about mosquitoes when I'm grilling in the backyard or playing with the dog, whatever. Roaches, ants, spiders, fleas, ticks, rats, mice, whatever. TerminixNOLA.com. TerminixNOLA.com. 5 o'clock Power Hour on this wide open Wednesday brought to you by Terminix. A scorcher out there, 93 feels like 103. This feud between the mayor and the governor is ridiculous. It's political crap. It's nonsense. You folks that are enjoying it, you have a problem. Seriously, you have a problem because it's not helping Louisiana or New Orleans, and that's a fact. You might like the drama, the soap opera. This is real life. We don't need that. And then when you just want to justify it by like, New Orleans is broken, it's dysfunctional, it needs help. I hear you. And if you don't think Louisiana as a state is broken and dysfunctional and needs help, you need help. They're neck and neck. You can't say one's better off than the other. One's worse off than the other. They're both broken. They're both dysfunctional. They're both corrupt. They're both full of political nonsense. And the governor is trying to lure the mayor into the political nonsense, and the mayor's not buying. She's basically saying, Governor, here's an olive branch. I don't represent these people. I don't represent the judge or the grand jury or any of this. I just want the state and the city to work together. And the governor's playing this game like city has to get its fiscal, business in order before we talk. Like the state has their fiscal business in order. We could have the next legislative session and they'll talk about $1 billion, deficit. I mean, I don't know who Jeff Landry's kidding on this. Now, Jeff Landry has engaged himself and has put himself in this because he's, quote, the governor of Louisiana, felt compelled to put himself in the middle of this. Helena Moreno, the opposite. She's like, is not in the middle of this. But the governor wants to have this fight with Helena Moreno. Anyway, politics, it's kind of pathetic. This is like the lowest common denominator. I've told you what's going to happen. In 3 days, 5 days, a week, 2 weeks at the worst, Helena Moreno and Jeff Landry will be at some event that they both justify needing to be at. Coincidence they're there. The media, of course, will not even ask questions about the event, but the feud. They'll say they've talked and they get along great and everything's great. And the mayor and the governor have a great relationship and everything's great. Watch. That'll be Jeff Landry in a few weeks. But his base, they're loving this. They remember this and they don't forget this. And it's inside of them. They're like, man, he was pounding the mayor, pounding on the city of New Orleans, beating them up. Tell them they're no good. They're dysfunctional. Get their house in order like the state has theirs in order. And it's politics at its worst, and it's infighting that doesn't help New Orleans or Louisiana. It's a joke. It's a sad, pathetic joke where we all lose. No one wins. No one wins. And if you're getting off on it, you have a problem. I mean, if you're Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, get off on it. Charlotte, Austin, Nashville, I don't know. Anywhere that's competing against us for anything, you can just bring this stuff up. Doesn't help. Doesn't help. No, and I would say the governor is more at fault than the mayor, because do I think the indictment of Liz Murrill is utterly ridiculous, nonsense crap, New Orleans at its worst, stupid, pathetic, regressive, doesn't help? Yes, 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 and yes. I'm on your side if you think it's absurd. But that isn't Helena Moreno's bidding. That isn't what Helena Moreno ordered. This isn't Edwin Edwards, you know? No, the governor needs to chill out, and he eventually will, because all this bashing New Orleans, that's the latest and greatest. Not talking to the mayor and bashing New Orleans. He knows it's nonsense. He knows New Orleans is the driver for the state. He knows Louisiana only goes as far as New Orleans. Meta in Richland Parish, Hyundai steel plant, whatever. No, the governor can come up with all this nonsense like New Orleans thinks it's special. It's not special. New Orleans needs to assimilate with the state of Louisiana. The World's Monument Fund, this is a worldwide group, not local, not regional, not national, worldwide group. They announced a new list recognizing 10 historic places across America, quote, whose preservation is essential to the richness and completeness of America, to the richness and complexity of American history. It's buildings and essentially it's a hospital in New York. It's Bartram's Gardens in Philly. It's a building at a college in North Carolina. It's a building in Boston, a few buildings in Rhode Island. It's the old Dallas City Hall. It's some mission churches in New Mexico. It's the Watts Tower in LA. It's the Wright Brothers site in Ohio. And it's the city of New Orleans. That's one of the 10. The entire city of New Orleans is one of the 10. So the governor can say all kind of goofy stuff and bash New Orleans and needs to assimilate and it's nothing special. No, you're wrong, Governor. It's something very special and you know it and you need to embrace it because it drives Louisiana. It's very special. New Orleans helps drive Hancock County, Harrison County, Mississippi, another state. It's that special. It's that special. The World Monument Fund says shaped by indigenous, African, and European, shaped by indigenous, African, European, and Caribbean influences, the historic neighborhoods of New Orleans form one of America's most distinctive cultural landscapes. Rising seas, land loss, and mass population relocation now threatens that heritage. No, the governor's playing political games, and it's embarrassing. You jokers that live around Louisiana and are salivating or even want to try to think it's true or believe it, have fun with that cartoon. I'm a native New Orleanian, means I'm a native Louisianian. I went to LSU in Baton Rouge. I love New Orleans. I love Baton Rouge. I love Louisiana. Relatives in Cajun country, Lafayette, New Iberia, on Bayou Teche. Grew up going down there. Love the Cajun culture. I'm 25% Cajun. I love Louisiana. And I'm not one of these freaks that's love New Orleans, hate Louisiana, love Louisiana, hate New Orleans. Get a life. We're all in it together. Corey Johnson with you. 5 o'clock powwow on a wide open Wednesday. Rouse's Markets. Rouses.com, upper right-hand corner, daily specials. Click on it. Or when you go to your Rouses, they still have the physical newspaper ads. All the savings. Rouses has 75 stores. They buy in bulk. They've got the lowest prices on groceries anywhere in Metro New Orleans and beyond. from Lake Charles through Lafayette, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, southern Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama, up to Hattiesburg. They're everywhere. Coming to Chalmette soon. The Rouses on Chef Highway, a huge hit in New Orleans East. They're doing tremendous sales. People love it. No, Rouse's buys in bulk, 75 plus stores, lowest prices. Their daily specials, even lower prices, even lower. Rouses.com. Corey Johnson with you on this wide open Wednesday. So much going on. Randy Hayman, the director of the New Orleans Sewage and Water Board, joined us for about 30 minutes in the 4 o'clock hour. In about 40 minutes at 6 o'clock, you can go to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, X, and check it out. Or Spotify, the podcast at 6 o'clock, and check out Randy Hayman's interview. Yeah, a good 25, 30 minutes with the director of the New Orleans Sewage and Water Board, asking him the questions that need to be asked. Coming right back, New Orleans.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
'Cause I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Terminix, the official pest control company of the New Orleans Saints, locally owned for over 70 years with humble beginnings on Poydras Street, will fix your pest and termite problems. Terminix has effective solutions that will help eliminate pest problems throughout the year. Their custom treatments address seasonal pest activity to protect your home and business all year long. Terminix provides residential and commercial pest and termite control services for the South Shore, North Shore, and river parishes of Louisiana. Terminix protects that. Go Saints!
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971 on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
CertaPro Painters, New Orleans local painters. From the first brush stroke to the finished job. Your home, beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters, neworleans.certapro.com.
The Swamp Room in Metairie, home of the Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans. A full menu, including steak specials, over 100 beers by the bottle, over 25 beers on tap, lots of flat screens, pool tables, darts, and video poker, lunch, dinner, late night dining. Open past midnight 7 days a week. The Swamp Room in Metairie on Vets between Transcontinental and I-10.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Artificial turf custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. Welcome back, New Orleans. Thanks so much for joining us on this wide open Wednesday. A whole lot going on. Yeah, don't forget to check out Randy Hayman, Director of the New Orleans Sewage and Water Board, joining us on the program, asking the hard, tough questions, asking the questions I would always ask. What the hell happened on Saturday? How do these pumps go out? How can you have human error? Why don't you have redundancy? Why isn't a person always there? Pump went out at Pritchard. You have to bring someone there. They're automated. Why not have someone there when there's a big rainstorm? Facility's just a few minutes away. You'll want to hear that interview. The British Open, the Open Championship, starts tomorrow from a crispy, dry Royal Birkdale. England will have the British Open. They will not be in the World Cup final. Argentina, tied up at the half. England goes up 1-0 at about 55 minutes in. About 5 minutes left in regulation. Argentina scores to tie it up at 1-1. In stoppage time, about 6-7 minutes later, Argentina scores again, and they win 2-1, eliminating England. Sunday at 2 o'clock, Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. from New York, from New Jersey, the Meadowlands, Argentina and Spain in the World Cup final. Argentina and Spain in the World Cup final. Hey, speaking of Europe, NBA Europe expected to launch next year. Multiple billionaires putting in bids for NBA franchises in European cities all over Europe. NBA Europe, NBA Europe to start in the fall of 2027. This is going to work very well. It's going to be a multi-billion-dollar league day one, right when they launch it. I mean, NBA Europe teams like in Berlin and London and Barcelona. I mean, Paris. Are you kidding me? It's the NBA, unlike Major League Baseball or the NFL, the NBA can go into Europe and thrive right away. Thrive right away. Hey, 2 weeks from today, the Saints will hold their first training camp practice. 2 weeks from today, Alvin Kamara will be in that number. The New Orleans Saints, fan favorite Alvin Kamara, one of the all-time greatest Saints. They've restructured his deal. The final year of that contract restructured. So a 10th season for Alvin Kamara. It's so funny. Fans can be so flaky, and more power to you. You're a fan of a team. No one's holding you down to your word. Some fans are known, that's flaky Jimmy. Some fans are, hey, man, David really knows what he's talking about. You got to respect his opinion. But you literally have some folks like, good riddance, Alvin Kamara. It was great to have him. Maybe we get some value, get some draft choices. I want Alvin Kamara gone. Done. We got ATN. We don't need Alvin Kamara anymore. Dude, it's a two-headed monster. Alvin Kamara and ATN, it's a two-headed monster. I'm so fired up. He's coming back. It's a two-headed monster. It's like, wow, did you hear what you were saying 2 weeks earlier? That's just how it is. The flaky fans can be against something and then be totally for it. And it doesn't matter. It's like your baby, your kids. You're a fan. You're whatever way the wind's blowing, you're going to go in that direction. A lot of fans, the flaky fans. More power to you. I salute you. It's not life or death. It's 100% pure entertainment. It's not life or death. So who cares? If on Monday they're like, screw Alvin Kamara, and on Wednesday they're like, love that he's back. The flaky fan. Hey, if you ever have a legal issue, like you really have a legal problem, you're like, man, I need legal help. I'm not at fault. I need a legal expert to help me out. Or maybe I did something that might be, I didn't do the best I could do, and I needed, the best legal help possible to diminish my, problem. Kiefer and Kiefer. real lawyers. When you have a real legal problem, small or large, and it's legitimate, you're like, man, I need real legal help. You're not going to go with these jokers advertising on television, yucking it up all over the billboards, goofy radio ads, spending millions of dollars literally on advertising. You're going to have to go with a real attorney, someone that can literally help you, not these jokers, fake injuries, exaggerating, embellishing injuries, or outright lying. No, when you have a real legal issue, you need a real attorney, people that are passionate about the law, that know how to go to trial, that know the courthouse, that know the judges, that know how the system works. Yeah, when you need real attorneys, KieferandKiefer.com. No time for joking around. You don't have some fake injury. You're trying to take advantage of the system. You have a legitimate injury. You have a legitimate concern. You have a legitimate legal issue, and you need a legitimate attorney. No time for clowning. KieferandKiefer.com. Simple. They've been at it like 50 years. KieferandKiefer.com, a New Orleans law firm. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Yeah, you right. Thanks so much for joining us. Corey Johnson with you. World Monuments Fund announces 10 historic places across America whose preservation is essential. 9 of the 10 are like old buildings all around the country that their preservation is essential. One of the 10, the city of New Orleans, the entire city of New Orleans on the list. So yeah, Governor, check out the World Monuments Fund, coming out ironically just in the last week or so, this list. Right about the time where you're bashing a city in the state where you're governor. Relentlessly bashing a city in the state where you're governor because it's politically popular with your base, your rural base. Pathetic. No, Governor, New Orleans still is the engine that moves the state. No, Governor, New Orleans is special. And no, Governor, New Orleans doesn't need to assimilate under Louisiana rule. It's not its own thing. It's part of Louisiana. But you need to quit this, power play, political shenanigans nonsense and get back to reality. New Orleans is king. You know it. I know it. Everyone in Louisiana knows it. Louisiana does better when New Orleans does better. Louisiana cannot do well if New Orleans isn't doing well. And lastly, I'll say this, and it's just, it's 2 things. I'm not trying to be a jerk, I swear, just reality. Louisiana needs New Orleans a lot more than New Orleans needs Louisiana. And Louisiana without New Orleans is West Virginia. So think about those 2 things, because those 2 things are just factual, fact-based. Louisiana takes so much money out of New Orleans for the rest of the state. New Orleans helps fund lots of things all over Louisiana. And it's not even close to, and Louisiana funds a lot of things for New Orleans. It's not even close. Not even close. So Louisiana needs New Orleans a lot more than New Orleans needs Louisiana. And neither one's going anywhere. Just reality, how you should be thinking. And Louisiana without New Orleans is West Virginia. No, the governor's just playing crappy political games. Helena Moreno is not responsible for the indictment, which is pathetic, the indictment. Jeff Landry inserted himself in that, wanted to, and now it's this, Helena Moreno's put out an olive branch. Governor, let's talk. And the governor's A, ignoring her, and B, bashing the city. Just political crap. Wake up, people. Wake up. In my backyard, I have a chipping and putting green. Artificial synthetic turf. It's Sin Lawn. The best in the industry, the same as Tiger Woods uses on his TGL indoor golf tour. Same turf. It's in my backyard. I've got a little, first cut where I can chip onto my green. And then I've got a green that rolls about 11 on the step meter with little subtle breaks, some straight putts too. I've really been enjoying my chipping and putting green in my backyard thanks to LGD Lawn and Landscapes, New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes. Go to their website, nolalgd.com. You can check out installations all over the metro area, including chipping and putting greens. And most of their installations, believe it or not, are just artificial or synthetic turf, like under a tree in someone's backyard where the grass won't grow, near a pool where too much dirt and grass gets dragged into the house, getting rid of a small patch of grass in the backyard that's silly to maintain it. NOLALGD.com. You can check out all the installations in Metro New Orleans, and you can get a free estimate. And I'm in radio and television. If I can afford a chipping and putting green in my backyard, chances are you can too. NOLALGD.com, the local professionals. No, I love my chipping and putting green in my backyard. I have friends that, they come in my backyard and they're just like jealous and envious. It's funny. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. A scorcher out there. 93 feels like a $1.03. Lots of this stuff. Agua, H2O, water. Stay hydrated. Highly recommend that. Randy Hayman, the director of the New Orleans Sewage and Water Board, joined us last hour talking about Saturday's flooding, Pump Station 7, the Pritchard Pump Station, human error, mechanical error, Decatur Street. Ran out of time, had him on for 30 minutes. Wanted to talk about the turbines, the cleaning of the catch basins, wanted to talk about that sewage pipe and the industrial waterway. No, had him on for 30 minutes talking about the latest and greatest Saturday.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
Cause I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City. CertaPro Painters, New Orleans local painters. From the first brush stroke to the finished job. Your home, beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters, neworleans.certapro.com.
The Steak Knife Restaurant in Lakeview has been at it for over 50 years. The reason? Because the Roth family does it right, serving only USDA prime beef, a neighborhood restaurant. But you don't have to live in the Lakeview neighborhood to enjoy the Steak Knife. Open Tuesday through Saturday night, the Steak Knife on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park. For a reservation, call 488-8981 or online, steakkniferestaurant.com.
49 years in a row. Ford F-150, #1 truck in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
The Swamp Room in Metairie, home of the legendary Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans. Open after midnight, 7 days a week. A full menu, including steak specials. The Swamp Room in Metairie.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Terminex, serving the South Shore, North Shore, and River parishes since 1947. Rats, roaches, ants, and termites. Getting rid of those guys is our business. Call for a free termite inspection. Terminex, official pest control of the New Orleans Saints.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
At Lamarck Lincoln, ownership isn't complicated. It's effortless. With a one-on-one brand specialist every step of the way, we strive to ensure every guest experience is nothing less than elevated. You'll understand why it's more than ownership. It's membership. Visit Lamarck Lincoln at Williams and I-10 in Kenner. Give us a call at 504-238-4800. That's 504-238-4800. Or visit us online at lamarcklincoln.com.
The Fence Man, a locally owned fencing company serving the metro New Orleans area for over 20 years.
Cause I'm the fence man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Yeah, I'm the fence man.
The Fence Man installed a fence in my backyard, like 125 linear feet of fence. Cedar fence with a cap. I stained it the color of my house. It's like a little mini compound now. No, really, to me, seriously, the fence and painting it, staining it the color of my house just enhanced the value of my house much more than what it costs to build the fence and stain it. TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com. Doing you right. I love all these ace in the hole type things I have. Just these. I'm lucky. I get to do a talk radio TV show in the city I love, New Orleans. I get to produce it, come up with the topics every day. Been doing it for decades and have 15, almost 20 different client advertisers part of the program that are like the best at what they do in New Orleans. It's nice. It's easy to talk about the best. Now, I honestly, all kidding aside, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not going to mention names. You know who they are. There are other talk radio hosts in town. They'll get like a client where they're doing a, quote, live commercial endorsement for that client. It'll last about 3 months, and then it goes away. They weren't moving the needle. The audience can tell they're just talking about it. It's scripted. They don't live it. It's not part of their life. It hadn't been part of their life for a long time. That kind of thing. Just, you're going to pay me and I can Joe Blow auto shop? Sure, no problem. Then people listening to them consciously, unconsciously over time are like, sure, I like that show, or I listen to that show, whatever, or I don't like that show and I still listen, whatever. But I don't listen to the host and go to the places he recommends or she recommends, because they're not the best at what they do. They're not good. It was just someone got paid to do a commercial. They did it. And a few months later, they're not doing it anymore. I mean, I've been talking about like Trey Yen for 10 or 15 years on this program. Lebanon's Cafe, like for a decade. Art and Eyes, they're kind of a newbie. I've only been talking about them for about 4 years. Young's Dry Cleaning literally might be the longest running live radio endorsement in the United States of America. This show, this host, me, Corey Johnson, the Neutral Ground, promoting Young's Dry Cleaning since the late 90s, going on nearly 30 years. I don't know if there's another radio talk show host in America that has been promoting a certain client product for over 25 years, nearly 30 years. That's me and Young's Dry Cleaning. Gallagher's 527, a real newbie. I've only been talking about Gallagher's 527 for a little over a year now. No, you folks listen to what I'm saying and you go to these places and you trust what I'm saying. We could disagree politically about this or that, but when I'm talking about food and different businesses in Metro New Orleans, my word's all I got. So you can sit there and say things, and if they're not true and the listener, the viewer of this program goes and it's not true, then my rep's in the toilet and they stop listening. Stop listening to these places I'm talking about. Gallagher's 527. I was in there the other day. I got the $24 lunch special. It's incredible. The shish kebab, sizzling filet chunks with onions and bell pepper, sizzling in butter with green beans on the same plate. This oval plate, just beautiful. One of the best dishes, one of the best lunch specials anywhere. So tasty. And they've got the shish kebab for $32. A few more chunks of beef on the dinner menu as a special, full time now. The filet chunk shish kebab at Gallagher's 527 is fantastic. So damn good. And priced right. The $24 three-course lunch special or the dinner special for $32. Just impossible to beat. And the crab meat St. Francis appetizer is the single most delicious crab meat dish anywhere. Anywhere. It's not very good or excellent. It's absolutely delicious. It's Warren LaRuth's original recipe. Pat Gallagher, the whole menu is his. He's been a chef for nearly 50 years, a master chef in Metro New Orleans. Worked with some of the best. He loved the crab meat St. Francis dish from LaRuth's that Warren LaRuth created. Maybe the best chef in the history of the city. And he's like, why am I going to change that recipe? He got with Larry LaRuth. He got the original recipe. And Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville makes this crab meat St. Francis appetizer every day. And it is to die for. It is special. Absolutely delicious. I recommend putting a little lemon on it. You get these little toasty things. It's just full of jumbo lump crab meat, chock full of jumbo lump crab meat. Just swimming in this chef-driven, no cheese, just seasonings and the holy trinity of, getting it started with the bell pepper and onions and, just so good. What is the holy trinity? Bell pepper, onions, and celery. No, it's Chef Pat Gallagher says it best. The jumbo lump crab meat is the star. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. No, I'm lucky. Native New Orleanian, had chances to go elsewhere. 4 cities had jobs in radio doing talk radio in 4 cities over the last 30 plus years. Could have gone to Houston, could have gone to Denver, could have gone to Nashville, could have gone to Atlanta, could have gone to Nashville pre-explosion. You don't think I don't think about that? Like, I go to Nashville and do talk radio and the market is just blowing up like the opposite of stagnant New Orleans. People flocking there, cranes in the sky, businesses, money. I think about those things, but I have no regrets. No, Denver would have been nice. Houston would have been a lot of money. Atlanta, a lot of money. Denver, I would have been like, I could live there. Nashville, I'm like, I could live there for a little while. But no, I stayed in New Orleans, and I'm lucky. I get to do what I want to do, and it's every day, Monday through Friday, weekdays, 4 to 6 o'clock, prime time for talk radio, television. Now we're on 5 social media platforms. You can check out the show live on X, on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, a lot of short clips on all those social media platforms, even TikTok. Follow me. Check it out. 4 to 6 weekdays. Yeah, live streaming of the show. Take it with you with the phone. Wide Open Wednesday, a scorcher out there. The mayor, the governor, still this little petty feud. The governor is at fault on this. He's engaging this. It's political fodder for his base. Mark my words, in 3 days, a week, 10 days at worst, the governor and the mayor will be holding hands, singing Kumbaya, all is good. We're talking, we're working. And here's the kicker. The governor will be praising New Orleans, economic driver for the state, the cultural center of America, a great city. Watch. No, just flaky BS politics. But his base won't be like, wow, he's selling out. He's saying the opposite. His base will say he's placating and appeasing New Orleans. I'm sticking with what he said a week ago. New Orleans isn't special. Louisiana's the state. New Orleans needs to assimilate with Louisiana. All that nonsense. All that nonsense. No, New Orleans is special. The World's Monument Fund announced a new list recognizing 10 historic places across America whose preservation is essential to the richness and complexity of American history. 10 places. They're all like buildings, old historic buildings that are, in risk of being, demolition by neglect type of thing. One of the 10 things, the city of New Orleans, the entire city of New Orleans. It's 9 buildings, a hospital in New York, a garden in Philly, a college building in North Carolina, a building in Boston, some homes in Rhode Island, Dallas's old city hall, some mission churches in New Mexico, the Watts Towers in LA, the Wright Brothers site in Ohio, the Wright Brothers, and the city of New Orleans. So, no, Governor, the New Orleans is special. New Orleans thinks it's so special. New Orleans is so special. New Orleans is so special. It's the driver of the state of Louisiana. Again, not trying to be a jerk. Louisiana needs New Orleans more than New Orleans needs Louisiana. And Louisiana, a state I love New Orleans, love Louisiana. I'm not one of those hates one or the other. Without New Orleans, Louisiana is West Virginia, for crying out loud. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Wide Open Wednesday edition of the program. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you. Like I said, every weekday we do it right here, 4 p.m. till 6.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971. On Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. The Fence Man, a locally owned fencing company serving the Metro New Orleans area for over 20 years.
Cause I'm the fence man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Yeah, I'm the fence man.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. For over 30 years, CertaPro painters have been part of countless memories. Freshly painted nurseries, bright, welcoming kitchens, families enjoying the important things in life. Every wall tells a story, and CertaPro is happy to be a part of it. New Orleans' local professional painters, doing the job right. From the first brushstroke to the finished job. CertaPro Painters. NewOrleans.CertaPro.com.
The Swamp Room in Metairie, home of the Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans. A full menu, including steak specials, over 100 beers by the bottle, over 25 beers on tap, lots of flat screens, pool tables, darts, and video poker, lunch, dinner, late night dining. Open past midnight 7 days a week. The Swamp Room in Metairie on Vets between Transcontinental and I-10.
Terminix, the official pest control company of the New Orleans Saints, locally owned for over 70 years with humble beginnings on Poydras Street, will fix your pest and termite problems. Terminix has effective solutions that will help eliminate pest problems throughout the year. Their custom treatments address seasonal pest activity to protect your home and business all year long. Terminix provides residential and commercial pest and termite control services for the South Shore, North Shore, and River parishes of Louisiana. Terminix protects that. Go Saints!
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe. Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe. Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, is hiring. These are the local folks that invented the shrimp peeling machine that is the industry standard around the world. When you're in Asia, or the Middle East, or South America, there's a shrimp peeling machine working. Chances are it is a Latrim machine. New Orleans, Louisiana, USA. That led to the all-plastic modular conveyor belts. I mean, you name some like food processing plant, car manufacturing plant, just about any manufacturing facility that requires conveyor belt technology, it's probably an Intralox belt from Latrim in New Orleans, Louisiana, USA, all around the world. Go to their website, latrim.com, and just check out their story. It's amazing. But if you're looking for a job or a career, Latrim has you covered. A culture of innovation, and they have dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of jobs available on their website right now, latrim.com. Latrim.com. In the 4 o'clock hour, the director of the Sewage and Water Board, Randy Hayman, joined us for a good 30 minutes. I don't know if the answers you're looking for will be found in that interview, but the questions that I asked were appropriate. What happened Saturday? Why did Pump Station 7 go down that drains Lakeview and parts of Mid-City? Why did Pritchard go down? 2 pumps, one went down, draining Holly Grove.
mechanical error has to be, down to a minimum. It can't be just, hey, New Orleans attitude, we accept the failure all the time. It can't be. It's got to be a rarity, not the norm. And human error can't be tolerated, right? Kept going back to, we have an investigation. We'll find out the findings. Don't want to comment. But, mechanical problems, these can't keep popping up. And then human failure, that's beyond unacceptable. Beyond unacceptable. I don't get it. Decatur Street construction. No, talk to Randy Hayman about a lot of stuff. The $300 million power plant, instead of going off without a hitch, no, major hitch. Like first test, it has problems. How is that possible? A $300 million substation on Sewage and Water Board property. It doesn't work right. No, talk to Randy Hayman, the director of the Sewage and Water Board, on all of that. Check it out. In 5 minutes, you'll be able to on X, a.k.a. Twitter, on YouTube, The Nutriground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. In 5 minutes, you'll be able to check out that interview from 4 o'clock with Sewage and Water Board Director Randy Hayman on Instagram, on Facebook. I'll have some short clips in the next 12, 15 hours or so from that interview posted on X and YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. World Monument Fund announces 10 historic sites across America. These are all just buildings in different towns and cities. New Orleans, the city of New Orleans, is one of the 10 on the list, the entire city, and its great neighborhoods full of culture and heritage. So no, Jeff Landry, New Orleans is special. You're wrong on that one. The British Open, the Open Championship, starts tomorrow from Royal Birkdale. Boy, the course is very brown and crispy and dry. The balls are just going to roll and roll and roll. And the rough is high as usual, but it's crispy and dry, not as thick and lush. Might be able to get out of that. I think you're going to see a lot of driver, not irons. Not trying to, hey, just hit a, 3-iron down the middle of the fairway, 260 yards and play from there. It's going to be a lot of bombing it and then hitting a wedge into the green. It's not going to be like the U.S. Open. I think you're going to see some scores deep under par. We'll see. We'll see. The greens might be crispy as hell too, and then lightning fast. I hope so. You want these majors to test these guys that go 25 under during the regular PGA Tour season. England scores 55 minutes into the game, about 10 minutes into the second half. They lead Argentina 1-0. About 5 minutes to go in regulation, Argentina ties it up. About 2 or 3 minutes into stoppage time, like 92, 93 minutes in, or about 6, 7, 8 minutes later, they score again and they win 2-1, eliminating England. Heartbreaking loss for England, yet another amazing comeback. This is like the third one for Argentina. Messi in Argentina. 2 o'clock Sunday from the Meadowlands outside of New York City, taking on Spain, the World Cup final. It all comes to a head Sunday at 2, Argentina and Spain. Hey, Saints fans, great news. Fan favorite Alvin Kamara restructures his contract. The final year of his contract, restructured. One of the all-time great Saints. Alvin Kamara coming back for a 10th season. Can't you hear the flaky Saints fans? Yesterday, last week, last month. Yeah, Alvin Kamara, man, we've seen the best Alvin Kamara. His best days are behind him. He needs to move on, get a trade, and maybe get a 3rd, 4th round pick. Alvin Kamara's gone. We got ATN. We don't need to worry about Alvin Kamara now today. It's a two-headed monster. It's a two-headed monster, ATN and Kamara. It's awesome. He's great. The flaky fan. Gotta love him. I just love that fan favorite Alvin Kamara is back, and it is a two-headed monster. What's that, Blue Boy? Alvin Kamara's like a basset hound, like you, low to the ground, can run fast and cut quickly. I don't know, Blue Boy. You're kind of straight ahead. You try to make a cut, you kind of tumble over, right? Oh, boy. Okay, Blue Boy, okay. Thanks for joining us, New Orleans. Check out Randy Hayman, Director of Sewage and Water Board, in the 4 o'clock hour on all our social media platforms. You can check it out.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.
It's popping and it's hot. It's 6 o'clock.